Well, my friends, it seems like MiHoYo has dropped another hint as to who Paimon could really be, and as a result, I have decided to become the first person ever to question her identity, and as such, we'll examine this new piece of evidence and maybe draw a conclusion as to who Paimon really is. Maybe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in the new Melazine quest, Book of holy shit, Estoretic Revelations, that's quite the word, an interesting piece of dialogue can be heard between Paimon and the Melazine, in which the Melazine noted, "Haha, interesting, but to my eyes, Paimon is like a little rainbow balloon floating in the air, and her string seems to extend upward to somewhere above the sky itself." Paimon plays this off, very convenient, but before I jump a little more into that, I also did want to point out that the same Melazine said this about the Traveler when describing how they see her. What I see, if I must really say then, I see a monster that looks like it could swallow the whole world in a single bite. Make of that what you will, this video is about Paimon. Anyway, from a metaphorical standpoint, a string that extends upward above the sky itself can mean a couple of different things. It could mean that Paimon is literally a puppet who's having her strings pulled by Celestia, or more likely, it could just mean Paimon simply has a connection to the divine, and that's all there is to it. Regardless, Paimon's apparent ties to Celestia can help explain why Mona the astrologist couldn't read Paimon's fates. You see, Mona's voice lines indicate that there were only 3 people's fates she could not read, the first being the Traveler, the second being Venti, and the third being Paimon. No reason is given by Mona as to why this could be the case, but alas, we, the all-knowing third party, are far smarter. Mona states the reason she couldn't read the Traveler's face was because he was not of this world. Although she gives no reason as to why she can't read Venti's fate, we know it's because Venti is a god. But as for Paimon, again, no reason was ever given, and they just left it at that. Again, very convenient.
This travel companion of yours, do you know anything of her origins? No matter what, I cannot seem to discern a single shred of information regarding this floating fairy's fate. Oh? So you don't know where she comes from either?
I think the most recent revelation that hints to her ties to Celestia helps to stoke the flames once again that Paimon may in fact be a god. But that's not the only thing. The second piece of evidence is her name. You see, there's an interesting thing to note about the gods in Tevat, and that's that all their true names comes from the Ars Goetia. The Ars Goetia is one of the sections of the Lesser Key of Solomon, which is a grimoire or a book of magic that dates back to the 17th century. The Ars Goetia specifically focuses on the conjuration and evocation of demons and spirits. It contains descriptions of 72 different demons, along with instructions on how to summon and control them, as well as magical symbols or sigils associated with each demon. MiHoYo obviously used this as a source of inspiration for the Archons' names, but it goes even deeper than that. The demons in the Ars Goetia and their respective Archons in Genshin Impact share undeniable similarities with one another in characters. Take Barbados, for example. In the Ars Goetia, he's the 8th ranked demon and is typically depicted as having the wings of a bird. He's known as a master of communication and often gives guidance on various matters. He also has a deep connection with the animal kingdom and is typically depicted as a helpful and cooperative demon. Venti is probably the most helpful and cooperative Archon we've met on our journey thus far, and his statue of the 7 depicts him as having wings. Venti also has a connection to the animal kingdom through the 4 winds, and by being musically proficient as a bard, he's a master of communications, as music is a universal language. We can find similarities like this in for all the Archons in the Ars Goetia. Morax, for example, is the 21st ranked demon and can provide information on hidden or secret things, as well as answer questions about the past, present, and future. He is also associated with the power to shapeshift and take on various forms. He is a demon quite literally summoned for the purposes of revealing hidden truths of the world. Beyond Rex Lapis being the only known shapeshifting Archon who's taken forms such as Zhongli and dragons and hell, even women, that's right, the Zhongli Ussie was real at one point, bro. He's also viewed in-game as the wisest, as there's a reason everyone calls him that one knowledgeable consultant at the Wangshan funeral parlor. Zhongli's A's lets him answer questions about the past, and we've seen him unearth hidden truths of the world through the Salt God. Moving on, we now get to Baal. Baal is the 1st ranked demon in the Ars Goetia and believed to have knowledge of and control over the powers of invisibility, wisdom, and cunning. Baal is associated with the power to manipulate and control the actions of others. The most powerful demon in the book, he can be summoned for the purposes of exercising control over others. Do I even need to spell it out here, guys? There has quite literally only been one Archon who has exercised control over their people by grabbing them by the balls and doing the old dick twist, man. And that's the right intro. Like, I just love it when everything comes together. It makes so much sense. Next we have Boar. The 10th ranked demon is believed to have the ability to heal diseases and impart knowledge of medicinal herbs and remedies. He is also associated with the teaching of natural philosophy and is said to promote harmony among those who invoke him. Boar is considered a helpful and knowledgeable demon when properly summoned and controlled. Nahida is the god of wisdom in Sumeru, where teaching, knowledge, and philosophy take precedence over all else. In addition to that, she also helped to cure Elazar, which was the disease that was ravaging the land. Finally, we get to the demon Focalor, who probably has the most interesting description given what we know about the in-game Archon focalor. Focalor is the 41st ranked demon and is typically depicted as having a sharp sword and is believed to have power over the winds and the seas. He can raise storms and tempests at sea, causing ships to sink and drowning sailors. Additionally, he is associated with the power to influence and manipulate the emotions and thoughts of people. It should be noted, however, Focalor is considered a potentially dangerous demon due to his control over the seas and the ability to incite chaos and destruction. He can be summoned by practitioners of the occult for various purposes, including causing harm to others or gaining control over emotions. I would show the similarities between Focalor and Focalor, but that's a whole nother video. I can't. This is about Paimon, okay? Which we are going to get to right now. Paimon is the 9th ranked demon in the Ars Goetia, and is believed to have vast knowledge and the ability to teach various things. Paimon is also said to have the power to manipulate and control the thoughts and actions of others. However, Paimon's most notable feature is his unwavering loyalty to Lucifer, that of which goes beyond the other demons. Seeing as the thing that stands out about Paimon the most is his loyalty, we can assume the same can be true of the Paimon in Genshin Impact.
Paimon would never see you again!
However, while one might argue that this could simply mean Paimon is extremely loyal to the Traveler, I would argue the opposite, and that Paimon is the most loyal to wherever she came, and the most recent clue points to her home being in Celestia. This also lines up with the myriad of breadcrumbs that Mihoyo has been leaving around over the years about a potential Paimon betrayal, with the most noteworthy example being Enju warning the Traveler of a Paimon spy. Spies are second to none when it comes to loyalty for a homeland, and the most recent questline in 4.0 shows us that Paimon could just be that, a spy hailing from Celestia. Anyway, I personally don't think that Paimon is the sustainer of heavenly principles. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I do think that Paimon is a god, because her name is Paimon, and because of all these crumbs that she has that tie her to Celestia. And I almost wanted to make a point that the reason Paimon is so rarely commented on, despite being such a unique entity in Teyvat that no one else has ever seen, it's because she's using her powers of manipulation to control the thoughts of people. But that didn't make any sense. But I don't know. I don't know. But also, I don't think Paimon could be one of the 4 shades, because it's not like Paimon bears any super significant meaning in the Ars Goetia other than his loyalty. He's not the 1st ranked demon, he's not the last ranked demon, he's just the 9th ranked demon, and that doesn't seem to hold any significance, so I don't know, man. But anyway, that's it. This wasn't meant to be a super in-depth video as to who Paimon is. There's 1,000 other videos that are go way more in depth. I just wanted to bring up this whole book of there's that word again, erotic revelations, just because I didn't really see anyone talking about it when it felt like the biggest piece of lore dump we've had on Paimon in quite some time. So I mean, that's it, man.